the Serrania de la Macarena. Closed off from the world and covering over 3,500 square kilometers, it's an extraordinary jungle, hidden in one of the remotest parts of Colombia. It has at its heart one of the oldest mountains in the world. A huge outcropping of sandstone over 2,500 meters high and 400 million years old. Ecologically important, it is the crossroads for the plants and wildlife of 3 different habitats. The vast Amazon, the endless Oruronokco Basin, and the towering Andes. Still largely unexplored, it is believed to be a hideout of unique creatures, holding numerous species found nowhere else. But it's not just the wildlife that is special. The forests hide other treasures only few people have seen. Colombia's present-day geology has been formed by a combination of tectonic, volcanic, and glacial forces. The 3 cordilleras of the Andes began to take shape 12 million years ago, forming part of the longest mountain range in the world today. Colombia sits right above 3 of the Earth's tectonic plates, and the national park of Serrania de la Macarena sits right in the middle of the country. It is flanked by the jungles of the Colombian Amazon to the south, the grasslands of the Oruronokco Basin to the northeast, and the Colombian Andes to the northwest. We start our journey here. Air currents forced to rise high up the mountain slopes creep up past the snowline. The drop in pressure causes the water vapor to cool until it condenses into clouds. These cloud-cloaked mountains are home to Colombia's king of the sky. The Andean condor. It is the second largest land-flying bird on the planet, with a wingspan of over 3 meters. Using thermal currents from the mountains, it glides effortlessly, spending most of its day scanning the ground below. It can spot a carcass from several kilometers away. And it quickly takes ownership. Its sharp, hooked beak enables it to tear even the toughest of hides. Here, he is the master. Colombia is dominated by these iconic peaks, covered with perpetual snow and ice. But further down the mountains lies a layer of cloud forest. It's a world of mist, stunted trees, and dripping epiphytes. With rain falling nearly every day, it is constantly wet. All the water is funneled into innumerable streams and rivers. The maze of ridges and valleys of these forests have isolated their species, resulting in a treasure trove of biological diversity. Only a few monkeys live at this altitude, so there's not much competition. One species that does is one of the largest primates in South America, and it thrives here. 45 meters above the ground, woolly monkeys are on the search for food. They have evolved to exploit this treetop niche, using a thick prehensile tail to get around. It allows them to reach nuts, seed pods, and fruits at the end of branches. These amazing tails also help them leap between large gaps. Even creating bridges for younger monkeys to cross. Cloud forests also support a breathtaking diversity of birds. One of the most striking groups is the hummingbirds. High altitude causes the nights to be cold and the days to be damp, so not many insects can survive up here. These minuscule birds have become the most important pollinators of plants. They hover in position, their wings beating over 70 times a second, and their hearts beating 1,000 times per minute. To power their incredible metabolism, they must drink their own weight in nectar every day. They feed from hundreds of flowers to gain enough energy to survive. The plant diversity here is equally impressive, and many have evolved to attract these aerial acrobats. Each species of hummingbird feeds from specific flowers. And bills are specially adapted for getting at the nectar inside. There are more hummingbirds in the Andean cloud forest than anywhere else on Earth. The abundance of fruit here also means many other birds can cram in lots of calories. This gives them plenty of energy and time to attract the opposite sex. One inhabitant works extra hard to find a mate. The flamboyant cock of the rock. The brighter his plumage, the stronger his genes. He piles his energy into very elaborate display rituals, hoping to win over a female. However, he's not alone. Several males gather to strut their stuff. It can be tricky not invading each other's space. He needs to always look his best. All this effort can be exhausting. The second of the habitats that converge at Serrania de Macarena is the Oruronokco Basin. The mighty Oruronokco River cuts through the heart of this landscape, through dry forests and seasonally flooded plains, before dispersing into a delta of swamp forests and coastal mangroves. Colombia's Oruronokco region consists of a vast floodable plateau of gallery forests and grasslands, which runs between Colombia and Venezuela. And it's these grasslands that form the northeastern border of Serrania de la Macarena. The vegetation and wildlife of this region has evolved to cope with yearly flooding and drought. But man has also successfully adapted to life here. This is Cowboy Country. Cattle ranching is big business. Soils are too poor for agriculture, but the grass is perfect for grazing. It is one of the world's richest tropical grasslands, so the cattle here share their habitat with more than 100 species of mammal and 700 species of bird. One mammal stalking the gallery forests is a ghostly hunter. The elusive puma. Also known as the mountain lion, it is more closely related to the domestic cat. It is, in fact, the biggest of the small cats. Ranging from the Canadian Rockies to the very bottom of South America, its success is partly due to its eating virtually anything it can catch, from tiny insects to large mammals. An accomplished climber, it uses trees to pounce onto prey. And it occasionally takes monkeys. This cat, however, is just passing through. The trees along the rivers of the Oruronokco Basin are home to the most specialized leaf-eating bird on Earth. The hoatzin builds nests of sticks in branches overhanging water and well out of the reach of pumas. Chicks are adapted to cope with the dangers of living above water, having 2 claws on each wing. They use these claws and their oversized feet to scramble around the tree branches without falling in. But water and pumas aren't the only hazard. Treebowers are usually ambush predators, but will happily try to snatch vulnerable chicks from a nest. Attentive parents soon see it off. During the rainy season, from May to October, parts of the basin can flood up to 1 meter. All this water attracts around 70 species of water bird. Black skimmers take advantage of the bounty of fish the seasonal flooding has brought. This unmistakable bird is known for its remarkable beak, perfectly designed for snatching prey at the surface. Its day is spent patrolling the rivers. While skimmers prefer to nest on the ground, other water birds here build their nests as far away from it as possible. Jabaroo storks nest 30 meters up. These chicks are well on their way, but still rely on their mother for food. The flooded grasslands also teem with fish. So she spends hours hunting them down. When her crop is full, she returns to the nest. This haul should keep her chicks going for a while. On the banks of a nearby river, ancient reptiles bask in the sun before they can begin to hunt. Spectacled caiman are named for the bony ridge, which appears to join the eyes like a pair of glasses. Highly adaptable, they live in virtually all lowland wetland and river habitats. so they flourish in these floodplains. These small crocodilians, which are adept at catching fish, are opportunistic feeders. And sometimes, the largest rodent in the world is on their menu. The capybara. Over 1 meter in length and weighing as much as an adult human, these are highly social herbivores which live in large groups. Breeding begins at the start of the rainy season. Female capybara can have up to 8 young at one time. Although they can eat grass from just 1 week old, babies continue to suckle milk until they are 16 weeks from any nursing female. Like hippos, this family is perfectly adapted to an aquatic lifestyle, surrounded by mud. They are as agile on land as they are in water, capable of spectacular dives that take them under the surface, where they can remain completely submerged for several minutes. Broad, partially webbed feet help to make them excellent swimmers. Much of their time is spent amongst the water hyacinth. It gives the younger family members great cover from the caiman. Adult capybara are too big to catch, but babies make a hearty meal. This youngster needs to learn quickly how to avoid its main predator. It's a hard lesson. Only 1 in 20 babies survive here. As dusk falls, the Jabaroo chicks stretch and test out their wings, building up their flight muscles. It won't be long until it's time to leave the nest. Skimmers trawl one last time before going to roost. And the capybara family, 1 baby down, settle in for the night. The sun rises over the Amazon, the final habitat to create Serrania de la Macarena. Colombia has 10% of this colossal rainforest within its borders. The Amazon is the largest tropical rainforest in the world, containing 10% of the Earth's known species. The basin is drained by the Amazon River, which is made up of 15,000 tributaries. This river system is the lifeline of the forest, and the Colombian Amazon creates the park's southern border. Colombian Amazonian rivers are home to the big cat of South America. The jaguar is the largest carnivore in the Americas and has the strongest bite of all big cats, twice the strength of a lion. But this female is taking a break from hunting. These felines are able to take virtually any prey on land or in water. So with so much food around, she has plenty of time to relax. She may be a big cat, but like all cats, jaguars love to spend much of the day lounging around. If only the flies would leave her alone. As well as being a supreme ambush predator, she is also a skillful swimmer. So when it's time to find a new resting spot, away from the relentless flies, going via the river is just as easy. While jaguars try to relax, green anacondas stealthily stalk the streams. The world's heaviest and one of the world's longest snakes, they spend most of their life in or around water. Like the jaguar, they too are ambush predators. Hiding just beneath the surface, waiting for hapless prey to pass by or stop to drink. Under the water, other predators lurk. Colombia's Amazon waters harbor one of the world's most infamous fish, the red-bellied piranha. Often portrayed as a terrifying predator, hunting in packs, stripping prey bare within seconds, piranhas actually live in large shoals for protection. They do not hunt as one. Usually, only when very hungry or overcrowded in shrinking pools will piranha enter into their feeding frenzies. Schools will home in on prey and devour it within minutes. Sharp, triangular teeth which interlock when the mouth is closed, and specially adapted jaws give it a powerful bite. But piranha aren't the only predators in these rivers. These murky waters also hide a monster. A fish that can reach lengths of 4.5 meters and weigh 200 kilos. Arapaima are one of the largest freshwater fish in the world. This strange creature breathes air, using a modified swim bladder as a lung, and it has a bony tongue with teeth, which helps it to chew and swallow. It hunts near the water's surface, sometimes even grabbing birds. The armor-like scales of the skin are piranha-proof. But the arapaima and the piranha are both defenseless against another iconic predator of the Amazon. Also known as the river wolf, the giant otter generally lives in family groups of up to 10 individuals. They are experts at hunting fish. Having voracious appetites, the adults often get through over 3 kilos of fish a day. Great kiskadés hang around, looking for opportunities to grab some scraps. But some otters really don't like to share. The ringed kingfisher, however, doesn't need to rely on scraps. He can do his own fishing. For the kiskadee, persistence pays off. When the otter's stomach is full, he gets his reward. Pups still in the den are beginning to venture out. So their mother mustn't drop her guard. She routinely moves them to keep them safe. Otter families are very cooperative, doing everything together. They make a formidable pack. Caiman, which can make easy meals of young capybara, don't get it so easy with giant otters around. All 3 habitats, Amazon, grasslands, and Andes, converge to create this incredible national park. The Serrania de la Macarena. A lush region made up of jungle, shrubland, and savannah, strewn with isolated peaks, winding rivers, and spectacular waterfalls. This habitat is so special, it was Colombia's first designated national park. Called the treasure of the world and a biological bank, more than 15 million specimens were collected during early studies of this area. There is a rich primate diversity, with 8 different species of monkey. Brown capagins inhabit the understory and mid-canopy of the forest. As nights are often chilly, this troop of around 15 individuals bask in the early morning sun. It isn't long before hunger kicks in. Tree-burrowing insects are a favorite food. Others capitalize on the abundance of forest fruits available all year round. Rainwater collected in bromeliads helps quench their thirst. Led by an alpha male, Capagin society hinges on a strict hierarchy. This youngster's submissive grimace is a way of showing respect to higher rankers. Brown capuchins are so versatile, they've become one of the most widespread monkeys in South America. Inadvertently, the forest's primates enrich the habitat by dispersing the undigested seeds of the fruits they eat. But dispersal of these seeds can be even greater, thanks to another much smaller and less conspicuous creature, some of which come out at night. Dung beetles. Some of the 1,200 species of insects found here. They are the kings of secondary seed dispersal, getting precious seeds out of dung and away from seed predators. Monkeys tend to defecate most at dawn and dusk, and these eager beetles are waiting. Within minutes, and from a great distance away, they have detected the fresh aroma and zeroed in to the exact spot. Primate dung is an important resource for them. They need it to reproduce. These dung beetles are tunnelers, taking dung far underground. They lay an egg on it, and the larva that hatches has all the food it needs to grow. Dung beetles are especially important in South American forests, which have been fragmented by man. By moving and burying seeds, these beetles take things one step further. They are, in effect, replanting trees. Nighttime is also when one of the weirdest birds to inhabit Serrania de Laarena wakes up. Cave-dwelling oilbirds. So named because indigenous tribes boiled chicks to produce oil for cooking and candles. These birds spend most of their life in virtual darkness. They have large, specially adapted eyes that can see in the lowest light. But they have a more surprising adaptation. When having to navigate in the pitch black, they use low-frequency echolocation. Broad, long wings also help them maneuver around obstacles. Roosting colonies can have as many as 10,000 birds. Oilbirds form monogamous pairs, and caves are strewn with nests and chicks. This pair was born a few days ago. The adults will feed them regurgitated food until they are twice the weight of the parents. What makes these birds even weirder is, in fact, what they feed on. At dusk, the adults exit the cave en masse. Having a quick wash and grabbing a drink as they go. After foraging far and wide, they sniff out what they're searching for. Small and pungent, avocado-like fruits. They hover to pluck the fruit off the tree, and it is swallowed whole. With full stomachs, the birds fly back to their roost to digest the oily pulp. Shiny, clean nuts are eventually regurgitated. Caves are littered with these seeds, but without soil and light, no trees will ever grow. In daylight, bands of coatis visit the rivers of the park to quench their thirst. This group of raccoon relatives is all female, only tolerating adult males when it's time to mate. Red-capped cardinal fledglings also venture down to the water's edge. While for the coatis, safety in numbers allows them to take time for a well-needed groom. As well as small mammals like the coati, the habitats of Serrania de Laarena are home to some giants. Up to 2 meters long and designed solely to eat ants and termites, the giant anteater roams the grasslands of the park, unhindered by water. Huge claws adorn the front feet, perfectly engineered for tearing open cement-like nests. But the longest third claw gives the anteater a problem. It makes walking tricky. So it has evolved to walk on its knuckles. The head of this bizarre creature is mainly its nose. A bony tube which houses a tongue over ½ meter long, ideal for reaching its preferred prey, termites. As the anteater's claws rip open gaping holes, invaded termites try their best to defend their home, but they have little effect. Sticky with thick saliva, it uses its tongue to hoover up its tiny prey. Anteaters have no teeth or proper jaws, so they rely on grit in their stomach to break down their food. Up to 30,000 insects can be consumed in one day. When it's time to rest, the large tail serves as blanket and camouflage rolled into one. Unlike the giant, the southern tamandua is a smaller anteater, which spends much of its time in the trees. But when it does come down to the ground to forage, it needs to remain vigilant. Boa constrictors, one of the 100 reptiles inhabiting these forests, are more than capable of taking one. tamanduas will get back up into the relative safety of the trees as soon as they can. They have a semi-prehensile tail, acting as a fifth limb, which makes a life among the branches easy. Being arboreal, tamanduas are able to prey on tree-living termites and ants. And there's no better place for a tree-dwelling specialist than the life-nurturing jungles of Serrania de Macarena. The Serrania de Macarena is a precious gem in Colombia's crown. It is of huge biological importance. With much of the park being inaccessible, the myriad of species that exist here have been able to hide undisturbed in the remote, dense jungles and isolated peaks. And the pristine habitat has managed to survive mostly untouched. Now, scientists are finally beginning to be able to explore this mysterious region, slowly uncovering all of its natural wonders. Who knows what other treasures they will find?